You get a jump scare. You get a jump scare.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know the reason why we have a part 2 for this.
Everybody gets a jump scare. What's up, Geek Gang?
What's up, my geek folks? How are you doing out there?
How are you doing? I'm Lainey.
And I'm Jay.
What's up?
So we're going to be talking a bit about or around
The Nun.
The Nun. 2.
Okay. And the way that you are even forming your face, I know that you loved it.
Yeah, whatever, man. Of course, guys, if you like what thank you for joining us. First of all, you know what I mean. If we can always check us out on Instagram. What else?
TikTok. YouTube. And let's talk about it.
All right, so let's get into it.
I mean, listen, it's better than the first one.
It's better.
Now, is that saying that it's great? Absolutely not, but it's better than the first one, so I will say that. It actually has a story, I will say that. Whereas I felt like the first one was go to the Abbey, haunted house. That's it. Okay, now you got a little bit of mythology in, Tessa Farmiga's character and her supposed lineage. I felt like you got a little bit more of the nun and why she was. No, actually, no. It was Tessa.
No.
It was that other characters. Yep. No, I'll take that back. You got nothing, and that pissed me off. Now that I think about it, that pissed me off.
You know what? My stance with the entire movie was the fact that they still haven't given us a strong idea of who is the nun.
Yes, because I was mixing that up with the Lucy.
With Lucy.
With the Lucy character.
Oh, okay.
But that's not her.
No, it's not her.
No.
So who is this nun?
Yep.
We still haven't gotten a strong backstory because everything is coming from The Conjuring. And this character is really terrorizing if you look at it. And she's coming from a Catholic background and religious background. So, there is going to be some sort of like spiritual horror or something. We're not getting that. I am not getting that.
And I think that's the biggest miscommunication of this movie and the last one, because it's a demon, right?
Yeah.
But because the demon is assuming a nun character, I feel like they should have never gone with it as a demon. They actually should have gone with it as a nun who has gone crazy, and maybe not in a slasher sense, but just was like maybe lost her morality and turned demonic because of that. That I think would be an awesome premise and should have come through.
Yeah, I think my critique in the movie is just that it surrounds itself with too much scare tactics.
Oh yeah,
to get you riled up and not come up with a strong story. Or this one came up with a strong story, but it still doesn't connect you to The Conjuring. Because that's where everything is coming from. Everything is coming from The Conjuring. But I'm still not getting that root feeling that this is it feels like a separate art. Say whatever it is. Say what it's coming from the Conjuring series. But it's still not grabbing me as a part of it.
You gotta remember, this predates The Conjuring information.
Yeah,
right?
This is old
so
tape,
now it is going into that with that post-credit scene. The thing I have a problem with that is that, if I remember correctly, because of the way the post-credit scene is set up, and because of the way that these scenes have already been set up in The Conjuring, there's going to be a lot of retcon going on. Because it's like now, in The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, I can't remember which one, Lorraine's trying to be like, oh, the nun, I have to know her name. We got to know her name. But yet now you're setting it up so that Maurice is going to be exorcised.
Yeah.
And Valak has to come through. So Valak has to come through in that way. It's like, and in a meaningful way, mind you, then what are you going to do to kind of have those things meet without there being continuity errors? You know what I'm saying? So I think that to me was a big problem, especially on the way that it ended. I will say that the scares were a little bit better and a little bit more thoughtful than the last one, because the last one was like, seriously, You get jump scare, you get jump scare, you get jump scare, you get jump scare. Everybody gets a jump scare, yeah. And it's just like, all right. And the way they set up the scares is like,
yeah, it you can actually see it coming
a mile away.
You know, and my overall thing about this is that, you know, I don't know, it's lacking something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's lacking not something, but a lot of things that kind of build a foundation with this non-character.
Okay.
Of course, you know, there's other characters within Conjuring that I think they should look into, which is very interesting, like Annabelle, you know, the doll.
I mean, they did 3 movies.
I mean, the second Annabelle, that went really well. You get what I'm saying? But
one of my favorites.
Yeah, but with this one, it's like I'm still not grabbing it. I'm still not getting it. In that era where the husband and wife have the museum, there are other little things in there that could be looked into and have a movie based on it. But with the nun, it's not getting me.
And I think
it's too confusing.
It's such a shame because like the nun and the makeup and just the feel of it is threatening.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For real.
Like yo, it's dark and you see this figure like that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And so
trust me.
Like there were some ways that they used that in this film better than they used that in the opposite. And don't get me wrong, also they actually had a lot more of the nun in this film than the last.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, you wasted that character in the last.
Yeah, wasted it.
Really badly.
Wasted it.
But I think just far as just having a cohesive story that was interesting based on the nun. Because like I said, like you said also, I want to see more. They need to flesh that character out. Not put it as a demonic presence in somebody else and then have them wreak even only a little havoc. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the body count was better in this one. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
A lot of those were just like, oh, you read that or you got told about that. There was only like 2 or 3.
It was unnecessary. Some
you know
of
what
the
I'm
deaths
saying?
were unnecessary to me.
The delivery person, completely unnecessary and unearned. Like, if you was gonna kill somebody, kill them bad girls.
Got to be a reason why you're killing people. You know
Don't kill the first person that comes up and she's just trying to do her job, and then all of a sudden, okay. And then that kind of was off screen at that. Like that first, I thought it was gonna go for broke when you got the priest that was burnt. The way they burnt. I wouldn't change Frenchie. He was the highlight. Okay, your Jonas Blokert, I don't know how to say his name, but he was the highlights. I would not change him.
I would not change him.
But I would just say, like, listen, sometimes, especially in horror, I feel like sequels give you more backstory of your titular character. We've said this, so I feel like I'm just gonna say I would want that more backstory of the nun.
What I would change is to have a different ambiance with the entire movie. I would go to a much more later date in terms of age, like probably in the 1800s there around, and
that's earlier then, because this was in the 1900s.
In the 1900s,
this was in the 1950s.
In the 1950s. Well, what I'll do is I'll do it like pre World War One, kind of thing. I will make it so that the nun itself is like the main character in the movie as to where or why she became the nun. You know what I mean? That is what I would definitely change overall. I think in that sense of the nun being who she is, I think there is basically or should be a story where this particular female who went through some issues, she went into the nun or the the nun, to be a nun, whatever, and she became the nun, but through couple horror issues that she went through, or demons or whatever possession she got obsessed with, it conjured her into being the nun who we have now right now. So you know.
So what you're saying?
What I'll do is change it to that.
Yeah, so you're saying you're just changing the whole mythology because even with the mythology as it stands, it was because I can't remember if it was a priest, but it was a guy who definitely was trying to conjure up a demon. The demon was released, and the demon took the shape of the nun.
Yeah. But
so you're saying trash the mythology as it is,
and
create another one.
Go with a character as a innocent female that went into the nun sisterhood, whatever, and have her but let her go through some issues first, and just when everyone thought that the demon in her died, it still lives on and brings her to this powerful character.
Yeah, I can do that.
If it goes through that that storyline, that pipeline of story, I think it would be good for me.
I can dig that. I can agree with that. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Oh my God. And trust me, everyone can agree with me when I say jump scares. Give me anything but jump scares. I hate jump scares. The next thing that I do hate is ghosts having superpowers.
Explain.
And this goes in a lot of how, especially movies with ghosts in it.
Explain.
And I do understand the idea of telekinesis, like stuff moving and stuff like, I understand that.
Okay.
But when you start having like ghosts having the ability to start fire from nowhere and chains coming from out of nowhere.
That part, yes.
And
yes.
A ghost having you fly into the earth and get covered up for no reason. I'm like,
yes,
what the fuck?
I do agree with that. That happened the first one. Yes.
I don't like that.
Yep.
Just let a ghost be ghost. If you want to possess someone, fine.
Ghost be ghosting.
Yeah,
let ghost be ghosting.
Just ghost yourself around.
Got
you know what I mean? Main characters making stupid decisions. Realistically, if
you hate all horror
movies. I mean, if you're in a house, and I do understand that they do these things just to capture the audience's attention, but try another thing. That shit is played out. Just do something else that kind of conceive that, say for instance you're walking down an alley and you're passing a door and the door automatically opens and then you hear someone say, "I will kill you," and the character be like, "Hello, do you need help?" And they will be heading inside the room. I'm like, why?
Come, I heard something. Come.
That is not realistically. That doesn't happen. People do not do stupid shit like that.
I mean, we don't.
You know what I mean? That's just what I hate with horror movies.
You're not wrong on any of those. I think the only thing that I would add on to is like the long stare that makes you wait and then something's happening. Like, so for instance, especially in the Nun 2 that it happened, when she was by the magazine area, the magazines were regular, and then they just started flipping, and she just starts staring, and it kind of goes into what like stupid characters do stupid things, right? So she's kind of just staring at it, and just staring at, and just waiting for it to do. I'm like, dude, this is not a good setup.
No.
The shit is happening. Yeah. Regardless if you saw it in the trailer or not, something's gonna happen. Now, if you would have done it as like an image playing on itself, like as she's walking, when she's far off, it looks regular.
Yeah.
And then as she's moving in, it just starts to change just a little bit. So then she's staring to kind of really realize what the hell is happening. And then as she comes in, it sets up into the nun. That to me would be quality.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
this all like, I'm just going to look at it and wait and wait.
Makes no sense.
And surprise me. Now, don't get me wrong. I do love a good jump scare. I don't like it when the film's reliant on it consistently.
It's like every scene.
You're going to give me a good jump scare and then like, that's it. So when we thought about this, I instantly picked out Frailty, Fallen, and Eli.
Frailty, Fallen, Eli.
And then when I saw what I picked out, I said, oh, I see a pattern coming. All three of them have a, you thought you knew what this shit was, and it really wasn't.
It take you all the way different.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
Especially Falling, the way that it ends, it's like, oh, got me. Out of anything that horror has ever done, I don't know why they didn't do a sequel to this. They could have done a sequel to this with a brand new character. You did not need Denzel Washington for it because he's not the person to do sequels a lot of times.
Exactly.
So that's fine. You could have done with a brand new character and brand new cast. It is itching. Hollywood, you are so obsessed on going backwards. Go backwards and make a Fallen 2. Get a great script. You already have it in the bag.
My first one is The Last Exorcism. My second, and these are coordinated. The next one is The Conjuring. I love The Conjuring. And The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Actually, that's a tie because I did like Devil Inside. That was pretty crazy, you know what I mean? But those are my top Catholic or religious horror movies.
I mean, that's a good weekend.
That's a good weekend.
Yeah, it's a good weekend. We should make that a weekend binge and be like, get back on here and be like, okay, we watched these movies. We're gonna rank them really quickly or something like that because that is a good weekend.
We can
all
do
your
that.
films and all my films.
Let's do it.
Yes.
On
Oh
Halloween.
man.
Let's do it on Halloween.
I like the way you think.
All right, guys. If you like what you heard, what's your favorite horror religious horror movie? Sorry. If you like these religious horror movies, whatever, let us know. You know,
in the comments below.
What you think, whatever, and tell me also what don't you like in horror movies. What you don't like in horror movies. All right.
Let's hear from you.
Yes, sir. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and
TikTok.
Geek by Heart. All right, and also you can check me out. I'm also on YouTube doing my live gaming. I'm now doing God of War 2018 version. I'm doing the whole series quest. You can just check us out and do.
And you can check me out at my podcasting crew, Blurred's Eye View, at my podcasting crew, but of the podcasting crew, Blurred's Eye View.
Subscribe.
All right, at YouTube. If you like what you see, then let's be your last. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you will never be late on what we release. All right? Catch you in the future. We will see you when we see you. Peace.